into the market, and I'm going to answer, I'll throw in my own 2 cents because I have a lot of experience with bringing online games from different parts of the world to the U.S. And one thing I'll say is, people can spend $10 million on an online game in Korea, and they'll get nothing as an advance. In the U.S. They'll get basically 50% or something like that. So the only way to get your game into the market in the U.S. pretty much is to self-fund it here using investment here, in my experience, and then find either a portal or a way yourself to get it up online and get a revenue share from $1. In fact, Sergey and I were on the other side of a negotiating table when my clients from Brazil developed a game, and it's like, oh, we're going to be talking to them. I will never go. Great, because hey, Sergey, So, but it's very hard to get an advance in that world, and you have to be looking for the biggest possible share of the revenue from whoever's going to host that game on their servers. Anyway, anybody else has ideas?
Sorry, I was first. Only 2 microphones simultaneously allowed. Sorry. Right, a second. Yeah. Actually, in the last 2 years, a couple of specialized agencies appear. One in Europe, now in the US, which is specializing in particular in incorporating of online and operating division in Europe or US. Just go to any search engine and you'll find it.
What about time? How long does it take to license one game?
1 year.
1 year.
Roughly. It depends on the stage of the production, but usually, say you need a couple of months to present it to the. So it depends where you sell it to, who you sell it for. For example, is it Western and Eastern publisher? Because for online browser-based, I think Asia is much better suited at the moment rather than West. However, West is also possible. So it really depends on the quality of the game. But generally, you need a couple of months to present it to the board. Then you need, and if you have already relations with all these guys, for online it's very, very hard to sell it by your own. So then you need a couple of months to exchange all the technical and all other information with the guys who are interested. And then you need roughly like 3-4 plus months to negotiate the deal and sign it. It's for sale. It's for major territory. For the small territory, it could be much faster. 1 year probably is a duration, but half a year should be fine. So we usually start selling process approximately. So we didn't start Prime Vault, for example, licensing. So we think the project is not ready. But usually we start approximately 1 year in advance before OBT, Open Beta Test, and it's very, very hard to sign the deal before you actually entered OBT on one of the territories, because the publisher wants to be sure that the game is stable, it's working, monetization is good, the audience like it, etc., etc. But general suggestion is, if your game is good, try to sell it to some of the Russian company who has good representation internationally for a fee, say, give them whatever, 50%. But still, they can manage to, if the game is good, they can manage to sell it to international partners. It will be free money for you anyway. You don't need to spend any time. You need to spend time for integration, for localization, etc., but you don't need to spend time for business development. All the deals we secure here, we do worldwide, right? And if we work with a studio, one studio, we keep worldwide rights and then do all the deals for international markets by ourselves and then pay royalties to developer. But it's a rare case. I think Melodar, you could do something like that.
We got operations in Germany, so we cover whole Europe, apart from Spain, and Italy will be there in a couple of months. But the story is actually that it's funny that in offline game development, nobody is really looking how you're performing in your local territory. is if the game is good, sell if it's not selling good in Russia, let's say. As for online, everybody is waiting for OBT, for commercialization, to understand if it is really performing well on your local territory. That's really strange for me. So, but that's logical.
It's very logical, so it's not strange. So another option is to do the game for, say, Facebook. So convert the browser game into the social game and publish it by your own. It's not that difficult, actually. And there are lots of examples.
Sometimes it is not a good opportunity for good game to be converted into small sizes or something.
With full screen, I mean, still, you get direct access to very wide audience. I mean, it's very vague topic at the moment because I don't know the project and so on so far, but generally speaking, it's a good option.
One more question, what is the difference between licensing in Europe and maybe in the USA?
No major difference. There is a difference in licensing in Europe and in Southern Asia. There is definitely a difference. In Europe and the USA, it's pretty obvious. The difference could be in applicable laws.
Still, you can use English or...
Yeah. But it's, let's say, UK and US law and European continental law, they're pretty the same, but there are a few things like, for example, like insurance and stuff we discussed right now. It's small tweaks, but it doesn't really matter. It's contract work, so it doesn't really matter in business terms.
Yeah, but Asia is completely different.
Oh, yeah.
So I would say that Alex Online would have to work another year to feed the requirements of Chinese operator. So the full team will be working a lot to just feed the requirements.
Yeah, one more point. If you're speaking about licensing or operating your own online game, so especially when speaking about big games like browser-based games or client-based games, you have to support, your team should support this product for particular territory needs, like to not only in case of delivery of the content and assets, but in case of arranging them, reculturalization of them to a particular territory. Because if your publisher is good, he'll definitely ask about that. And possibly, as I said, it's if he really likes your game, he'll buy a stake in your company.
Does it mean that
It's happened a lot. You have a lot of Sergey. You have a lot of people who we know with whom it happened in last year, and that was the companies from Southern Asia, and they bought a stake in these companies because for different reasons. But we bought
It could be, but you'd not have to do it. I mean, if you want.
No, yeah. I don't mean you have to, but we possibly try to buy you.
Yeah, and actually sometimes it's actually good. I mean, if you take a look at the Riot and Tencent relations,
That's an interesting example, yeah.
Yeah, since they like the game, they give them very good valuation and offer to invest in their company and buy the stake. And I think this is, I mean, if you manage to do the good game and major Chinese operator want to buy you, I mean, come on, I mean, it's how.
Yeah, actually, Riot Games and League of Legends, it's a really good example because it's before that there are a few Dota-style games, more games on American market like Avalon, for example, from V-Made, and these games were completely nothing. And League of Legends is just done right with marketing, with things like art and presentation of product, and we've been bought not by US company but Chinese company, which is cool. So the game will work also in China. And it's really successful. League of Legends is really successful in the US.